In November 1799, the Alien and Sedition Acts had left one Democratic-Republican newspaper functioning in New York City, when the last newspaper, the New Daily Advertiser, reprinted an article saying that Hamilton had attempted to purchase the Philadelphia Aurora to close it down, and said the purchase could have been funded by British Secret Service money. Hamilton urged the New York Attorney General to prosecute the publisher for seditious libel, and the prosecution compelled the owner to close the paper. In the 1800 election, Hamilton worked to defeat not only the Democratic-Republicans, but also his party's own nominee, John Adams. U-200A 392-99, U-200A Aaron Burr had won New York for Jefferson in May via the New York City legislative elections, as the legislature was to choose New York's electors. Now Hamilton proposed a direct election, with carefully drawn districts where each district's voters would choose an elector, such that the Federalists would split the electoral vote of New York. J., who had resigned from the Supreme Court to be governor of New York, wrote on the back of a letter, proposing a measure for party purposes which it would not become me to adopt, and declined to reply. Adams was running this time with Charles Cotesworth Pinckney, the elder brother of former vice presidential candidate Thomas Hamilton, toward New England, again urging Northern electors to hold firm for Pinckney in the renewed hope of making Pinckney president. And he again intrigued in South Carolina. U-200A 350-51, U-200A Hamilton's ideas involved coaxing Middle State Federalists to assert their non-support for Adams if there was no support for Pinckney, and writing to more of the modest supports of Adams concerning his supposed misconduct while president. U-200A 350-51, U-200A Hamilton expected to see Southern states such as the Carolinas cast their votes for Pinckney and Jefferson, and would result in the former being ahead of both Adams and Jefferson. U-200A 394-95, U-200A in accordance with the second of the aforementioned plans, and a recent personal rift with Adams. U-200A 351, U-200A Hamilton wrote a pamphlet called Letter from Alexander Hamilton, concerning the public conduct and character of John Adams, Esquire, President of the United States, that was highly critical of him, though it closed with a tepid endorsement. U-200A 396, U-200A he mailed this to 200 leading Federalists. When a copy fell into the Democratic-Republicans' hands, they printed it. This hurt Adams' re-election campaign and split the Federalist Party, virtually assuring the victory of the Democratic-Republican Party, led by Jefferson. In the election of 1800, it diminished Hamilton's position among many Federalists. Jefferson had beaten Adams, but both he and Aaron Burr had received 73 votes in the Electoral College. With Jefferson and Burr tied, the House of Representatives had to choose between the two men. U-200A 352, U-200A. U-200A 399, U-200A several Federalists who opposed Jefferson supported Burr, and for the first 35 ballots, Jefferson was denied a majority. Before the 36th ballot, Hamilton threw his weight behind Jefferson, supporting the arrangement reached by James A. Bayard of Delaware, in which 5 Federalist representatives from Maryland and Vermont abstained from voting, allowing those states' delegations to go for Jefferson, ending the impasse and electing Jefferson president rather than Burr. U-200A 350-51, U-200A even though Hamilton did not like Jefferson and disagreed with him on many issues, he viewed Jefferson as the lesser of two evils. Hamilton spoke of Jefferson as being, by far not so a dangerous man, and of Burr as a mischievous enemy to the principal measure of the past administration. It was for that reason, along with the fact that Burr was a Northerner and not a Virginian, that many Federalist representatives voted for him. Hamilton wrote many letters to friends in Congress to convince the members to see otherwise. U-200 352, U-200 U-200 401, U-200 The Federalists rejected Hamilton's diatribe as reasons to not vote for Burr. U-200 353, U-200 U-200 401, U-200 Although historian Cokie Roberts claimed that Hamilton's campaign against Burr was a major reason Burr failed to win in the end. Nevertheless, Burr would become vice president after losing to Jefferson. When it became clear that Jefferson had developed his own concerns about Burr and would not support his return to the vice presidency, Burr sought the New York governorship in 1804 with Federalist support against the Jeffersonian Morgan Lewis, but was defeated by forces including Hamilton.